Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. I'm Zemo, the dad in DPS, and we're back with another episode of The Good, The Scrap, and The Script, a series where I review weapons I've either found, been given, or created in Appalachia and see how well they do. And today's weapon is one that you actually don't see very often. It's quite hard is the wrong word to get it, but it's rare because of people's inaction. Either way, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, and let's get on with the video. Ooh ee ooh ah ah ting tang ramalama ding dong. So today's weapon is an instigating weapon speed 1 strength Sheepsquatch staff, and this has the burning barb Sheepsquatch staff mod on there. Now the thing about Sheepsquatch staff is it's quite a rare weapon for you to see for multitudes of different reasons. The first off is that you can only get the plan to craft this weapon from the event free range, and it's not the most common plan there. On top of that, the mod that I've got in the Burning Barb mod is also a plan from free range. If you do not do this event, you cannot find these, and if you don't have the plan for the weapon learned, you cannot find them in Overworld. They are tradable, of course, so as a reality, it just makes it a rarer weapon to see, because most people just completely ignore free range. This will probably change next patch. Either way, let's see how it goes. And as usual, this is the build. I'm not going to focus on this too much. We'll do proper build videos next patch when, everything's changed and things are more, centered around endurance and whatnot. But for now, this is what we've got. So when it comes to these videos, when I'm using my melee weapons, always take into consideration that I am using food buffs. Now, when it comes to one-shotting these guys, we are falling just short of that, but this weapon does have bleed damage, so technically, if we wait long enough, they will actually die. But in a lot of cases, it's just quicker to whack them again. I could hit them and run off, I suppose, which might be an idea to do. But you're saying that we just fall short of one-shotting it. And the thing is with the Sheepsquatch staff is I'm not going to, bust your ass and say it is the best two-handed melee weapon. It is not. It is a good two-handed melee weapon. It is powerful, and you're going to get some decent damage out of it. But when it comes to things like the Zweihander and the Warglaive, it just quite doesn't stack up to its bigger brothers. It is decent, but it's not the best. 100% not the best. But it has quite a decent quick swing speed. It feels good. It looks absolutely amazing. It's one of the coolest weapons in the game, if you ask me. It's one of the few weapons that I don't know if I'd put a skin on it if there was one available, because why would you? It's a freaking Sheepsquatch's skull on a stick, on fire, covered in barbed wire. It's like it's a freaking heavy metal skin of a weapon already. It is absolutely fantastic fun to use, and I 100% recommend that if you haven't farmed to get a Sheepsquatch staff, that you do already, because again, it is not the best melee weapon in the game, but it's very viable, very usable, and very fun to use. So with the Super Mutants thoroughly dispatched, we bring this baby to Jeff. Now when it comes to Jeff, obviously he is a big old butt, and you're seeing that this weapon actually quickly deals with him. If we were using a bloodied version, he would already be dead. It kills him very quickly. It's a very strong weapon. And the thing to take into consideration about this weapon is with the Burning Barb mods on here, we have both fire damage and bleed damage. So this thing can be used with friendly fire. And the bleed damage, I think anything revolving around damage over times is being adjusted in the next patch. So you might see this doing far more damage than it currently does. Though that might just be poison, I'm not 100% certain that, but I do remember something about damage over times being adjusted in general. Now, I'm going to be brutally honest when it comes to the Mirelurk Queen. I absolutely hate fighting her on melee, and that is mainly because she does insane damage. So if you're going to take on anything like the Mirelurk Queen, you're going to want to have Suppressor on as your in your Charisma tree. The reason for that being, she hits like a train, and you don't want to get hit by her with melee in general, because it hurts. It freaking goddamn hurts, and as you saw, we took her down pretty quickly, pretty easy. That was a level 60, but at the same time, a level 60 Mirelurk Queen is still a deadly opponent for melee if you're unprepared. But yeah, it did the job. And finally, we come to expeditions. Now, this weapon, having a combination of bleed and freaking fire damage, is absolutely perfect for this type of shindig. Like, literally, you're seeing, this is the keeper, the boss of these guys, and he isn't really going to stand a chance against me once I get rid of his little healing MacGuffin over here. I hate these goddamn things. And you're seeing that between the fire damage and the bleed damage, these things just, for the most part, melt. Because that's how these guys work. Like, they do not like fire, and they do not like bleed. Like, any type of damage over time absolutely destroys them. I mean, look, I hit him, didn't even one-shot him with a basic attack, but then the bleed ticks, and it'll take them out. Like, it's just so good at absolutely destroying these guys. And this is the thing about this weapon. Because it does have these additional effects, and in the future these additional effects will be adjusted, then this is potentially going to end up being one of the best like melee weapons to take into expeditions if they don't, you know, screw that up and make these guys like super tanky. I mean, this guy is not dying as quickly as I wanted, but you know, you're seeing that you're able to absolutely dominate these enemies. Then when you come to human enemies, I mean, I'm one-shotting them with power attack, pretty much. And with basic attacks, I can just sort of whack them and then, you know, walk away. This is the thing with a lot of these enemies. A lot of the basic enemies in this place, you can just go with a basic attack and completely annihilate them very quickly, very easy. It's just such a fun weapon to use. I heavily recommend it. And on top of that, you look very metal as you use it. It's a freaking Sheepsquatch skull on a stick. What's not to like? Like, anybody in the comments, tell me one damn thing that's not to like other than it's just not the best in damage. Like, other than that, what's not to like about this damn thing? So yeah, that was the Instigating Swing Speed 1-string Sheepsquatch staff. Now, I've made a habit of using instigating weapons recently, and I feel like it gives you a good idea of what this weapon can do at its max damage, but also what it can do without effects that give you damage, such as like vampire and etc. It does really well regardless. And this is the kind of thing where I think this weapon is just so good, so fun to use. I would always say, if you're wanting to go for max damage, you're better off with a Zweihander, because nothing beats that thing in terms of damage for melee at the moment. Really, it just raw, single target, single hit damage, it is the king in that one shot. But this, fun, looks great, smells great, sounds great. Everything about it is just, I love it. I have always loved it. Either way, guys, that is today's video. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Especially leave a comment down there if there's any weapons or things you would love to see me do and create things on in the future. When it comes to a lot of things at the moment, we are going to be ramping down on stuff until the next patch, but we'll definitely see what we can do. Either way, guys, I'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.
Through the dark, moonlight's dimly shedding, a shadow creeping. Feel your hearts entwining, a twisted mind, seeking prey to devour. In the dead of the night, he gains more power. His bloodshot